What's good, everybody? Welcome in here to Absolute Legends on the channel, everybody. So glad to have you guys along with me today, as today's my birthday, by the way, 25th birthday here. So I basically have nothing planned, kind of more like a hangout stream for you guys, more like a big thank you to every single one of you that was part of the channel throughout the run, throughout the playoffs. You guys were incredible here. I'm going to take a look at the chat right now. I'm going to go all the way back to the top, and then we'll drop it down to the bottom here through the chat, see what we got going on right now. Raptor, the first one on the stream here. Thanks so much, bud. Really appreciate it. You can't join the stream here. No problem, man, but enjoy your date night there. Brother, we got Vaughn on the channel right now. Alejandro, welcome in. Elk here. Ayals, Kevin. Glad to have you guys on board. Peyton here, welcome in. Donovan Mitchell, my man. Glad for stopping on by. Big thank yous all for wishing me a happy birthday, each and every one of you. You guys are awesome. Joey, what's good here? L. Lance here. Paniti. Anthony. My man Vegas. Bradley here. The Mod Squad's back. Goody as well. Diego, welcome in, man. G.A. Prada, welcome in as well. Brandon. Jose and Ben here. You guys are awesome for stopping by. Reed here, welcome in. I miss you too, Jose. It's been quite a while. It's been quite a while here since the last stream with Game 6 of the Finals. Lakers against Heat. Dyer, welcome in. My man Ryan, appreciate it, bud, for stopping on by. How long will the stream be? I actually have, no clue. It's probably going to be, probably a half an hour, probably a half an hour to an hour. So just, a little bit of, a hangout stream or so. For you guys. We can talk about anything that you guys would like. But by the way, I turned 25 today. My birthday is October 20th, 1995, so I turned a big 2-5 today. Brandon, welcome in, my man. I don't know anymore. Welcome back. Nick here. What's good for stopping on by, brother? And Ben as well. We got Bupo on the channel. Yes, I'm a Patriots fan as well, Diego. Hopefully they'll be able to turn it around, as that was just a rough game for me to watch on Sunday. Watched the entire game there, the Patriots, and yeah, only one practice throughout the week. Basically, their whole training facilities have been shut down for the last 2 weeks heading up to that game against Denver. They moved the game due to positive cases. It was supposed to be week 5, moved it to week 6. And yeah, the rust really showed on Sunday there. They were playing with a thrown together offensive line. You could, basically, it was the players for the Patriots in that game, they just threw it together at the last moment, and Bill Belichick didn't have any time to prepare and put together any sort of offensive playbook or anything for them, and yeah, it just really showed the rust for that one. With Cam, he had 3 weeks off, and he missed a big pass that would have changed the game. That pass to Demir Bird, if he had threw it out there, laid it out for Bird, because he underthrew, and that would have been a game changer right there. Yeah, I plan on doing that, Bupo, in the off-season, so I plan on dropping very soon. I've been working on a ton of stuff, so that's why I haven't, posted anything in, 9 days or so. I've been, writing up, a lot of stuff, working on my next video content, because it usually takes a while to put out the video content, so the stuff I've been working on is a preseason top 25 for college basketball before the season starts. I also want to get conference predictions out there as well. Hey, what's good, Ant? Welcome in, man, for stopping on by here, brother. Appreciate it once again. Yeah, Ant here. Put a message on the Discord. Yeah, I saw that before I went live. But that's awesome. Happy birthday to you, my man, by the way, as well. That's awesome, brother. Hope all went well today, and hopefully everything's going well with your soccer league as well. Yeah, I haven't been able to catch a lot of baseball this year, Diego. I did turn on the World Series though, so I haven't been big into baseball for probably over a decade now or so. It's weird because it's my main sport that I played when I was growing up. I played baseball all the way through high school, and just, man, the game's just completely changed. It's so different from when I played. It's slowed down just such a ton. What's good here? Zippy Loopy, appreciate it, bud, for dropping on by. My man behind the arc fan, what's good here, brother? For stopping on board. More F, yeah, welcome in here. Yeah, Bradley, for him, he sadly took his first L in fantasy, so everybody now has a loss in our fantasy football league. Somehow I won my fantasy matchup, and I only had 80 points to show for some reason, because Yeah, there was a lot of problems on my team as far as players producing. I had Aaron Rodgers, who just had a rare, just terrible game that will go down in the history books as the worst ever Aaron Rodgers performance in his career. And then also I had on my fantasy team DeAndre Hopkins, which only Kyler Murray completed 9 passes yesterday, and they were still able to crush the Cowboys. Yeah, Ants Giants finally taking the W over there on the weekend there. It's up for grabs, man. That whole NFC East right there is just historically terrible division, but anybody has like a realistic shot that gets up there. Indeed, college basketball coming soon. I plan on doing releasing one more preseason top 25 video. It probably gonna come out in the next like few days or so, and then I also plan on doing conference predictions. Supreme Fortnite Clan, what's good here for stopping by? Appreciate it, man. And Sir Smooth, welcome on board here as well. I'm going to predict here for number 1 pick. I'm going to predict LaMelo Ball for number 1 pick if I had to predict that. World Series here. Jose predicts the Dodgers going to take it. Yeah, I'm going to predict the Dodgers as well. I was a big Mookie Betts fan, by the way. I'm a Red Sox fan, but sad to see when Mookie was let go there to the Dodgers. But I would love to see Mookie able to win one there. Huge loss, though, for the Red Sox, unfortunately. Benji, welcome on board here for stopping on by, man. Yeah, I heard about that. That was released last week. I don't know anymore putting out about Providence hosting 2025 March Madness first and second round. That's awesome. Yeah, they usually do that. I think it's like once every like 4 or 5 years they do that. It's rotated in the northeast sections between Providence. Boston usually hosts or so when Providence doesn't host at the TD Garden for Boston. So Providence is hosting at the Dunkin' Donuts Center. Last year it was Albany. In 2019 it was Albany at the Times Union Center. This past season, I was going to try to get tickets to that. This past season it was supposed to be Providence, but Providence is back in there for 2025. So hopefully, I've never been to like a March Madness tournament type event there. That'd be so cool to attend someday. Yep, Vaughn won in fantasy this week. I get to play Raptor in fantasy this week. Hey, we get a dono. I really appreciate my man. More F yeah. You are the legend here on the channel with a dono. Let's get that dono hype down in the chat. Absolute legend here with more F yeah on the channel. Oh yeah, for sure, the kid. Anthony Edwards is golden, man. I think out of like all the players, I would have to say that Anthony Edwards, I think he's the one that's going to have the best career out of anybody in that draft. Right there would be Anthony Edwards. What's good here, Juan? Appreciate it, man, for stopping on by. Oh, wow. I don't know anymore. Puts out here. He dropped 2 quarterbacks, a tight end, a kicker, a defense and special teams with 2 running backs and a wide receiver. Wow, that's a lot of players that got dropped from the roster. Especially, we're coming up on bye weeks now, so say if you only have like 1 kicker in a roster or so and your team's like stacked with a bunch of like other players and like your kicker's on a bye or so, you'll have to go out and like get a kicker. Same as like a defense and special teams if you only have like 1 of those. Because now it comes down to like the deep roster part of the season. Because this is a chunk of the season, week 7 coming up for the NFL. That like multiple teams are coming up on a bye. Yep, Vegas won his first matchup this week in the Mod Squad Fantasy League. So he is at 1-5. He almost took down me. Usually in those games that it's like lower scoring for some reason, like my players have struggled. Like DeAndre Hopkins, this is the second time that he has struggled in like once every other week or so. Basically because they didn't pass the football last night for the Cardinals. They just ran right all over the Cowboys. That's awesome. Ant traveled back to England to see his family before his season starts. Always great to see your family. That is awesome, man. He played 16 games, scoring 32 goals when he went to the USA, Spain, and Toronto. He got Player of the Year at a tournament. That's incredible, man. Keep up the awesome stuff right there with your honors, dude. That is incredible. That'd be awesome if you make it onto like an Olympic team someday and represent. That for sure would be quite the honor. Hey, Yukamura, welcome in here. Glad to have you in the channel, man. Thanks so much, brother. Yeah, Ant putting out here about Killian Hayes as well, that he might be sneaky good too right there. There's really good prospects that are international coming up in this draft for a couple of them. The Steelers here, dude, Steelers looking so good. Defense just carrying, man, and Cleveland Browns. All the talk about Cleveland being 4-1, they were just no contest for the Steelers. So, huge matchup coming up this week. Steelers, Tennessee. Tennessee's offense is just electric, but I think that I'm going to predict the Steelers in that game. So, I will take the Steelers, and they got a defense there, and Tennessee, the thing is just they've been able to win shootouts. That's the thing with them is defensively they're not like a top tier defense. And dude, Chase Claypool, he's just such a steal of the draft right there. Chase Claypool, he is just absolute balling off for the Pittsburgh Steelers. What's good here, Seth? Appreciate it, man, for stopping on by here. Conrad, welcome on board, man, out to the stream here. You guys are awesome for stopping on by. Hey, JL9, welcome in, man. He's been following since the good old March Madness year of 2019. Glad to have you on board, JL9. This is awesome, man. All the way back, a throwback here with JL9 on the channel. So glad to have you on board here. Yeah, I also plan on covering the draft coming up in November. So I also plan on covering and doing that. And also the following draft, 2021. That should be really interesting there to see these college players play this year. I think Cade Cunningham has a good chance to go number 1 in 2021. Hey, we got another dono. My man, more F ya. Really appreciate it, brother. Absolute legend here on the channel. You guys are awesome. Yeah, I'm scrolling up here. Yeah, same with me. Oh, it's so sad. Feel bad for Dak. That was just a terrible injury when I saw it, and hopefully he'll come back, and he has a good opportunity to win Comeback Player of the Year for next season. I feel like for Dak, it's so sad that it had to happen like that. Yeah, Vegas puts out for some reason none of you guys picked up on waivers Chase Claypool, and he is lucky he grabbed him, and dude, he can produce. Just he was being slept on in the waiver wire, I guess, in our league or so. Hey, Aos, welcome in, man. Yeah, my day's been going pretty well, man. Everything's been going pretty well lately. His birthday's coming up on Monday. That's awesome, man. Happy early birthday to you, brother. Hopefully everything will go well for you guys. Clayton, welcome on board here once again. Hey, thanks so much, Ant. Really appreciate it, man. Glad to have you on board on the channel, and hoping to definitely cover some more college games this season coming up. There's going to be some really great matchups. I know Gonzaga against Baylor. I think that's supposed to take place first weekend of December. That should be a really good game. I think that one's like a national game over on CBS too. But tons of great games, I feel like, for this season coming up. Ooh, good question here, Joey. What trades in the NBA do I think is going to happen in the offseason? Really good question here, man. I'm probably going to go... yeah, so I feel like Giannis is going to go to the Heat instead of Milwaukee. I feel like he's slipping away from Milwaukee now, and that it's going to be huge if the Heat's able to get him. I feel like he's trending that way. I've heard about the Heat, possibly the Mavericks as well, but I think leaning towards like the Heat right now. I was on Golden State with Giannis about like 2 months ago, but I feel like he's slipping away now from the Bucks. I think he's got a golden opportunity to go over to the Heat if he does so. But the only thing is if they can swing, like, because they need, like, another... Yeah, that's a really good one right there, Vegas has. Because Celtics definitely need a big man. Indiana Pacers, Miles Turner. One right there that the Celtics really definitely desperate need for a big man. But the only way that I think Giannis, if he can still play in Milwaukee, they need a great guard to go along with him. And I think if Chris Paul can go over from the Thunder right there, over to Milwaukee, that could possibly still able to have Giannis in Milwaukee to play with Chris Paul. But I don't know if I feel like that's the only way that he can still play for Giannis is they just need like a upgrade in the guard over Middleton. So Middleton can be the third best player on the team, and they just need a second best player to play alongside with Giannis that's able to complement them. So that's where I'm thinking about Chris Paul right there, if he is to stay at the Bucks. What's good here, my man? Wahoo wah, appreciate the brother for stopping on by. No problem, man. But thanks so much, brother, here, and so glad to have you in the channel once again here, brother. I know he's a big Virginia fan. Virginia should be having a great season for college basketball, man, this year. Hoping to do some Virginia games for you guys. I think they're going to be like a top 10 game this year. Oh, man, so sorry to hear that, Aows. Hopefully you get better, brother. See, he's got a fractured hip right there. Sending my thoughts out to you. Speedy recovery, brother. And that Tyrone to welcome on board here for stopping him by. Oh, man, Lamar Jackson, he's got a bye week. Yeah, there's bye weeks coming up. Multiple teams this week in Week 7. And you're going with Justin Herbert there. As the Chargers coming off a bye. They are back this week for LAC, so Vegas going to be starting him in the fantasy league. Oh, yeah, so I don't know anymore. Puts up on the chat a little bit a while ago. So, yes, I heard about that. So, Tua getting his first ever start in the NFL. So good for him, man. The Dolphins are like a sleeper right now. Like, that was a shock when they just blew out San Francisco 2 weeks ago. But now, they're in front of the Patriots. They're 3-3, and they're putting together a pretty solid season right now. Been like one of the sleepers for the Dolphins there. So that AFC East, it is up for grabs right now. So, Aows looks like he's watching the stream. Sorry to hear that, man, that you're in the ER. Best of luck out to you, brother. Let's get some prayer emojis out to my man, Aows. So sorry to hear that, brother. What's good, Packers Nation? Welcome on board, man, for stopping on by. Steven, welcome on board here once again. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Hey, we get another dono, my man, More F, yeah. Thanks so much, dude. You're awesome, man. Absolute legend here on the channel. So, what do I think is going to happen here to the Houston Rockets for this year? Yeah, I think that's going to, like, blow up or so. I think one of them's either Harden or Westbrook, I think's going to go elsewhere in this offseason. So, I think that whole thing's just going to blow up or so. I feel like the two teams that made the playoffs from this past year in the Western Conference that's not going to make it for this upcoming season is probably going to be the Rockets and the Clippers. It all depends, though, on the Clippers whether Kawhi and Paul George stay or if that whole thing just blows up and they go to, like, other teams or so there. That's the only thing. If they do keep Kawhi and Paul George, then the Clippers going to be back to the playoffs for next year. But if they decide to leave there and that whole roster just has, like, a bunch of, like, new faces in there or so, then it's not going to look too promising for this upcoming season now for the Clippers. And yeah, for the Rockets, I think that's going to be a tough one to get back to the playoffs most likely. You got a lot of rising teams in there in the Western Conference too. Golden State's going to be right back in there. I predict that they're going to be a top tier Western Conference team. And also the Phoenix Suns coming off 8-0, perfect in the bubble. I think they got a great chance to make the playoffs next year with a young squad just getting better with Devin Booker. And then also you got the Memphis Grizzlies, the Pelicans on the rise as well. So that Western Conference is going to be so tight in there. And as far as teams that were close to making the playoffs, that's probably going to be more rebuilding. That would be the Spurs for next year. I just don't see the Spurs in like any sort of playoff conversation for next year. They got like a lot of like rebuilding pieces that they got to like do in the off season or so. Hey, what's good here? Sean Baker, welcome on board here, man, for stopping on by. Thanks so much, brother. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Vegas puts out Chicago Bears, team that nobody would think be 5-1. Nick Foles at quarterback, doing it all through their defense. And just, so I've got the LA Rams defense now for this week, so I'm going to start I'm going to start the Rams defense over the Bears, because the Bears have been just like a bottom tier offense or so this season. They haven't done like much offensively, but able to win games. It's been all defense. That's why. And that's been a shock to me, because their defense was good 2 years ago, even with Mitch Trubisky at quarterback. And then last year they took like a giant step down. And then this year, once again, they're back. Like, that's a huge surprise. They're 5-1. Steelers undefeated. Tennessee undefeated, coming out playing with a couple weeks after they had massive amounts of positive cases on their team. And dude, Derrick Henry just on fire, just running over defenders and doing his thing. Just Tennessee right now looks like just a massive threat, but it's going to be a good matchup this week. Tennessee-Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh's got a really solid defense. Thanks so much, more F. You really appreciate it, man. Puts out, hope I commentate for ESPN or something someday, man. Hopefully, man. Gotta work my way up the ladder right there. What do I think is going to happen to the Knicks or so? I think in order for the Knicks to be really good, they're going to have to pull off like a big trade and get some like superstar players in there or so for this upcoming season. That's the only way I feel like the Knicks can be like a playoff team for this year. But I feel like they've got so many pieces that they're just missing, that they got to build up there in the future. That's the thing though. But if they're able to get like superstar players in there somehow, swing like a massive trade, that would help out towards helping out the Knicks out in the future there. What's good here? Patel, welcome on board for stopping on by. How far here do I think Denver Nuggets going to go to the playoffs for this upcoming season? Good question, L. Ooh, I'm probably going to say Western Conference Finals. If Murray and Jokic comes back, Western Conference Finals there, and then I feel like the team to beat's either going to be the Lakers once again with LeBron and AD, or also you got Golden State for this season. I think it's going to come down to those two teams, though. But I think Nuggets got another good chance, another good crack at it, Western Conference Finals. And I feel like those two teams, Lakers and Golden State, is going to be back where they have it once again. Hey, thanks so much, Ant, for stopping on by, man. 1:19 in the morning here, brother. Glad to have you on the channel, man. And yes, indeed, for you too. Enjoy the rest of your birthday as well, man. Cannot believe we have the same day as the birthday here. That is awesome. Yeah, Vegas puts out Patriots need a trade for a receiver. They really need like another weapon on their team. I so agree, man. So yeah, so Cam basically has Julian Edelman. N'Keal Harry has basically done nothing for the past couple of games or so. And Edelman was silent for the entire first half. Damiere Byrd, which if Cam had if he had laid out that pass, like if he hadn't underthrown that pass, that could have changed the entire scope of the game right there if Damiere Byrd had been able to go out for it, because he was on the go route down the field. He had like 2-3 steps behind his defender. Patriots would have won that game if he had got that touchdown, because he underthrew it. The ball was around like the 10-yard line where he underthrew it. All you needed was a go route. He catches that like the 3 or 2-yard line, goes into the end zone for a touchdown. So yeah, I'm liking like the steps up Damiere Byrd is doing, but yeah, there's definitely need to be another like weapon for the Patriots or so. And maybe like, I don't know, I'd be interested to know, because Bill Belichick's done it before, like players just like big name players that play for like other organizations that haven't really been themselves or so, and then they come into New England and then they play their role. And that's one of the players I've been thinking about, Odell Beckham Jr. If OBJ can come along and possibly get like a trade from Cleveland over to the Patriots there, I feel like Belichick will be able to find his way and tap into the potential there with OBJ. And just, they'll have another a much needed boost as far as receiving threat to make it a deep roster for a very talented wideout, for sure, with OBJ. He hasn't been himself though the past couple of years. That's the thing though. Yeah, Vegas puts out the Eagles always end up winning their division. They are just battling through injuries. Just same thing as last year. I feel like as far as teams, yeah, I would predict Philadelphia will be the one coming out the NFC East this year. It's down to anybody, but I feel like Philly's going to be the team once again to battle back and do it. Jay Rich, welcome on board, man, for stopping on by. Glad to have you on the channel, brother. Sorry to hear that. Vaughn looks like he lost power, but he should be getting it back in about half an hour. So that's a quick time you get for a turnaround for power. And, of course, sending my thoughts out to any of you guys out there that still don't have power from the storms that hit. I know out in Louisiana, they got Hurricane Laura back in late August. They also got Hurricane Delta, like 2 weeks ago. So, really sending my thoughts out to you guys. That was just terrible 1-2 punch that people still don't have power from 2 storms, and it's been almost 2 months and people still don't have power over there. It's just so sad. Do I think DeMarcus Cousins will be coming back to the Lakers? I'm probably going to say no for that one. Yeah, Patriots receiver, same thing as last year, Vegas, just struggling to gain separation right now. Yes, indeed. So, my man Elk here, he's been part of the channel since late July once he found it. So, give him a big warm welcome out to the mod squad here from my man Elk on board. He does awesome content as well. I saw a couple of awesome college football prediction preview videos you got there. Keep up the good work like always, brother. Big Cat, welcome on board here for stopping by, and RWW as well. Glad to have you guys on the channel once again. Thanks so much, guys. How long am I going to stream? I'm probably going to stream for like another 15-20 minutes or so, just as like a hangout for you guys, and then call it a night. So yeah, my birthday's been pretty awesome today. I went up, I had work earlier this morning, was able to get back, and then I just kind of like set up for my stream or so. I got like if you go online or so and sign up for like birthday coupons from restaurants, I get like a couple coupons in the mail or so through my email for like free meals at some of these places and stuff. So that's what I've been doing like past couple days or so. And also I've been like, as far as like the content and stuff, the content's really coming soon. I want to do like a lot of off-season like content or so for like college basketball prediction videos. I want to do another top 25 preseason video right before the season starts. It's probably going to be out in the next couple of days because I typed up everything. It takes so long to get like all the info from all the teams. So I expanded the top 25 to an additional 45 teams. So it's actually more like a top 45 or so for college basketball for my preseason top teams. And then I'm going to have that video probably out. I'm probably going to record it within the next like 2-3 days or so. So it's going to be out within this week most likely. And then I'm going to have like conference predictions as well. And what I've been doing right now, past couple of days, is writing up a lot of the conference predictions too. So it takes like a while to write up. I have to like, for some of the teams I don't know like as much as like some of the teams for college basketball as like others. Say it's like for the Big 12 where I cover like Baylor and Kansas a lot last year and Texas Tech. I know like a good amount about them because I covered like Texas Tech as well throughout the off season with a lot of their changes. But the other teams in the conference I'm like not so familiar with would be like Kansas State or like TCU, and that's where I have to do like a lot of research and things like that in order to like kind of like figure out about who's on the roster and like know more about their teams. It goes for like other teams or so too, whereas like I'm a Providence fan from the Big East. I covered Villanova last year and I covered Seton Hall as well, so I kind of have like a good grasp on them. But other teams are like the bottom half of the conference, I feel like for this year, like a St. John's. I don't know as much about like St. John's or so as like compared to all the other teams. So it's like more like researching and stuff like that. Trying to think like for more who else? Oh, definitely the American would be one of the conferences that I don't know much about, except Houston and Memphis. Pretty good knowledge about. And then aside from that, the other teams like I'm not that's where I really go into, like, I have to, like, research a lot and find out more about them. Like, teams, like, for this season, Wichita State is one of them because they have, like, an entirely new roster that transferred over. Also, East Carolina is another one. And then also, yeah, Tulane. So yeah, there's a lot that goes on with this stuff, like as far as like research in order to get down like all the teams and stuff. Let's see, right back on the chat. Vegas puts out, really thought the Ravens would lead their division, but yes, Steelers right now on a steamroll. But yes, Steelers did a really easy schedule to start off the year, but man, their defense is looking solid right now for Pittsburgh. That's the thing. So I'm just gonna. I think we have to see more games with Pittsburgh. That's the thing, though, because they've had just really easy type of schedule. And I'm not sold on the Browns. That's the thing. The 4-1 Browns when they play the Steelers, I don't think the Browns are a playoff team at all this year. I think Baker Mayfield, I don't think he's gonna be lasting too long, that much. Yeah, this is what the Steelers had for their schedule so far. So they had the Giants, the Broncos, the Texans, the Eagles, and the Browns, and they looked real good against the Browns there. Just took that game in full control. But the other games were actually like closer games or so. The game against the Broncos, that was a really close one. They won 26-21. And then the game against the Texans, they pulled off by a touchdown, which Tennessee came back late against Houston and went into overtime and they won it. So what I did for my birthday today, I had work earlier today, and then I just like went home. My mom actually got me like scratch tickets that I were able to scratch off. Unfortunately, didn't hit the jackpot and anything for the scratch tickets, but we had birthday cake that she gave me a couple of days ago, and I went out with my girlfriends. Back on Saturday, we went out over to Connecticut, and we had a really nice time with each other. So what am I doing in vacation break here instead of basketball? Or so I had like a vacation break. It was Columbus Day weekend. I went up to New Hampshire, and that's the weekend that I covered a game. The final game, the Lakers versus the Heat in the summer place. But that was our summer place that we closed up in New Hampshire. We closed it up this past the weekend before was Columbus Day weekend that we closed it up. And then we usually open it up around usually May or June or so. We'll open it up. Yeah, Ethan put it out here. Atlanta Falcons looking good now under Raheem Morris. Able to maintain a lead there. And that was the difference between Raheem Morris and Dan Quinn. Able to retain the lead throughout. And I was shocked that Minnesota couldn't do anything in that game. I thought that Minnesota would at least make it competitive. And the Vikings have been one of the biggest disappointments this year. Am I going to bring back trivia anytime soon? I might, Bradley. It all depends. It'll probably be on a weekend night, probably a Saturday night or so, most likely, if I decided to bring back trivia. But I'm not sure yet. Hey, welcome in, Sabrina. Glad to have you in the channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. Really appreciate it. Just getting caught up here with the chat. Unruly Wizzle, glad to have you on board here from Jamaica. Right here, Kentucky Wildcats' team here. Glad to have you on board, man. What's good here, my man David? Welcome on board, man. I went to CT, his state, back on Saturday. Had a pretty good time. We went to, it was the Gillette Castle over in East Haddam where we went to. We also went to, got quite the story here. We went to Devil's Hopyard Park, which is out in East Haddam, Connecticut. And it's got a gigantic waterfall that goes down. Once we got up there, though, to the trail to go up to the top of the waterfall, we couldn't stay there for much of a time, though, because they had it all off with red caution tape when we got up to. What happened, I guess? They had a dive and search and rescue team over at the waterfall. I guess somebody jumped from the top of the waterfall down below. So they had tons of the entire search and rescue team out there, and it was all covered in red caution tape. You couldn't really get close to the waterfall. I've never seen that before in my life. I was to my girlfriend, have you ever seen that before in your life? We're nope. Yeah, I really plan on doing that, Bradley, for sure. That's the stream that made this channel grow. That was the first ever stream that we had over 5,000 viewers. That was crazy, man. Louisville against Kentucky. So that okay, so interesting. So that is December 26th there. Awesome. So it looks like he's got the date to that. Yeah, I remember last year that was like a Saturday afternoon game. That was the stream that this channel just blew up on. Louisville, Kentucky, and then Duke versus UNC. Sir Smooth here from Louisville, my man. Appreciate brother for dropping on by here. Yep, Bradley, big Louisville fan as well here as well. Ash, welcome in here once again. Thanks so much, Elle, for stopping on by. You guys are awesome for being a part here. Joshua Lee, welcome in here as well. And hoping the best of the rest of your day here, Elle. Oh, that's awesome. David took his kids there last year. It's a fantastic park, man. It's my third time going there. It's a really great place. Nice and serene. They've been working on the covered bridge. So they had it like fenced in or so we weren't able to go onto like the covered bridge. But the past 2 times before that, we were able to cross the river and go over there. What's good here, Joshua Lee? Glad to have you in the channel, man. Yeah, it's a huge game for both of the teams. I'm probably gonna just stick to basketball now or so, Elk, but I might be I might be away on Sunday, but I might catch that game. It all depends on what day I hang out with my girlfriend this week. We're not sure if it's gonna be Sunday or Saturday for this weekend. Malala, welcome on board here. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it for being a part once again here. Do I have a boxing channel? I actually don't. I haven't really like gotten like huge into boxing or so. That hasn't really like been my like big thing or so. I turned on the World Series for a little bit, just watching as we go through the stream or so, but as far as baseball, I haven't really been able to keep up to baseball as like what I used to be. Like when I was much younger, back in like elementary and middle school, I used to watch like a ton of baseball, but I played baseball growing up all the way through high school, but as far as like the game now, it's just gotten so slow. Yep, Vaughn's going for his 4th dub in a row this week for fantasy. Me and Vaughn on quite the winning streaks right now in fantasy. Blanks, welcome on board here. He's got his Zoom teaching. It's actually going well. That's awesome. Glad to hear. Yeah, my whole family teaches in the school district in my town, so that's what they do. My mom works as a paraprofessional, so she works with children with autism in the school district, like young 4, 5, 6-year-olds. She takes them on and off the bus every day, and it's a really tough job. You got to keep your eye out for each and every one of them because they need like individualized help or so. But that's what she does. Works as a paraprofessional for elementary school for children with autism. My sister works as a music teacher, and then my dad is the custodian at the same school that my sister works at. Oh, Derrick Henry and Julio Jones saving the day right there for Ethan this week. Dude, Derrick Henry is an absolute beast, man. Skilled out, welcome on the channel, man. Thanks so much, brother. You guys are awesome, and same as Donovan Mitchell here, welcome in as well. Do I know when the NBA will start? That's probably going to be like after Christmas, if I had to predict there. So they were thinking about starting around December 1st, but now it's going to be, I think, more towards like January. So I guess the NBA is trying to get like fans in their stands. So I think they're going to go more towards like a January 2021 start or so, but nothing's official just yet. Hey, thanks so much, Daniel. Really appreciate it, man, for being a part here. Once again, brother. But yeah, it's crazy how the last stream just went by and time has just flew right by here, and it's awesome to connect with you guys because we went through the playoffs and there was just so many people on this stream that we were just basically like reading names and stuff, and we weren't like connecting as much as like how I was like during college and things like that, where we were all talking about like I knew like a lot of like my subscribers and mods through like where they're from, who their team is, what grade they are in school, what age they are, and things like that. With a lot of like the earlier people on the channel, but it's like great to like know like each and every single one of you through like smaller types of streams or so as we build up a incredible community here. I have I was taking a look at my stats here. I put out, so I started out this channel back on January 21st of 2019. That was my first stream. So my first stream was about like, yeah, 22 months ago. Was, or no, 21 months ago. So 21 months ago was my first stream. And all the way back from last year, my first stream of the NBA season for 2019 was Celtics versus Sixers. I think that game was around, I think it was on October 23rd. We had not even 400 subs a year ago. It's crazy how much we have grown here, especially covering the playoffs. That's what like blew us up. I remember like the big streams that like blew up this channel, but we started out 1 year ago, not even at 400 subs. And what we've gotten over here, it's incredible, to over 9,000. It is awesome because of you guys. And definitely deserve a pat on your back here. It's incredible. But it was, so I'm trying to remember the big streams that I've had. I remember the first one, the one that really hit it. It was Louisville against Kentucky. That was the one. Late December last year, 7,000 plus viewers in the stream. And that was the one that really hit it. And then after that, the college stuff just took off from there. It's been awesome to build up like a college audience and an NBA audience, which it's been great. And that one really took off. And then back in February, I got to call my first ever buzzer beater, Duke against UNC, game number 1. That stream really took off as well. And then we went into the NBA, and there were a couple really good games there throughout the season. But the game that just took off and really made this channel what it was, I think that one was at the end of the NBA bubble. It was the Brooklyn Nets against the Portland Trail Blazers. That was the game. That was the first ever double-digit view stream. I think we had over 19,000 people view that stream. And that was the stream that took off this channel. And then the rest is basically history there from there on out. Like, I can't believe my first ever, like 20 months into streaming that I had videos that were over like 100,000 views. Like, that was like insane. Like, how many people were a part here. So Daniel's watching Dodgers Tampa Bay Rays here for the World Series. Yes, so I've got it on TV as well when I'm talking to you guys and stuff right now. It's tied up at 0, bottom of the second. But it's quite ironic how both of these teams, like the cities that they play for, have already won a title. Tampa Bay Lightning, they won the Stanley Cup title. Los Angeles Lakers, they won the NBA title, and here we go. We got Rays versus Dodgers in the World Series. And a lot of people are saying Bucks in the Super Bowl. Still got a lot of people saying that. Well, anything's possible. I'm not sold on Tampa Bay just yet, even though they just destroyed the Packers on Sunday. I was shocked about that. They had 2 pick sixes off of Aaron Rodgers. Like, what's the chance of that ever happening ever again for Aaron Rodgers? But that was just a bad game, I feel like, for the Packers. And I think the Packers are going to be much better if they ever take on each other in the playoffs. I think it's going to be coming down to the wire the next time there. But I don't know. I'm still not sold about the Buccaneers or so just yet. Even though the defense is carrying. Yeah, Ethan puts out with all the school, he's always bored, so I made streaming his night there. I'm so glad that I can make you guys happy here when I had the chance, and it was like so many people here tuned in throughout the summer, which was good. So that was basically when everybody was off from school, not really much going on, especially on the weeknights, and glad to able to provide just an awesome market, more like an outlet for you guys to talk about sports and be a part of the community. Yeah, Vaughn puts out, that's good. Time is flying by fast here, getting closer for sure. We are getting closer, and hopefully we'll work our way up to some type of normalcy in the new year. That's the thing. That is definitely a goal to have, would be some type of normalcy with fans in the stands there in the new year. Hey, what's good, Namayo? Welcome on board, man, for stopping on by once again. Best stream, Joey puts out. Yep. That was, I think that, yeah, that was the game I think that Luka called the game winner. That was Dallas against the Clippers with all caps Gregory in it. Yep. Classic type of stream there. Yeah, Conrad puts out if the NBA has to start in January, they jump in the 2020-21 season. It would more be like the 2021 season only if they happen to start in January. It would just be like the 2021 season, so they wouldn't start in 2020 most likely. Ethan forgets which one was his first year. I think it was it was late July, I think, or maybe early August. It might have been. I think it was my second night streaming the bubble games. I think it was Houston against Milwaukee. I believe that was the first one that Ethan was on for my channel there. I think it was Houston against Milwaukee, or it might have been that was on the same night I think as Toronto Lakers. Yeah, Raptors Lakers I think was on the same night there. So Ethan's got his Super Bowl predictions right now, Chiefs and Seahawks for the Super Bowl. I can picture that as well. I still like the Packers for some reason to I think that was just an off game, like the loss that they needed. I think they're like so much better than that for Green Bay. Still think they got a great chance to make the Super Bowl this year. Hey, what's good, Oliver? Welcome aboard here for stopping by. Thanks so much, brother, for being a part here on the channel. Dexter, welcome on board, man. You guys are awesome for stopping on by here, man. Nobody signed up for the Patreon just yet, Behind the Arc fan. I'm thinking about probably doing more like of like the behind, like more of the YouTube community thing, and seeing if anybody would be interested in doing that. Or so that might work better because it's connected to YouTube. So I'm thinking about doing the YouTube community tab, or what's that? It's part of the community tab. The another thing. I just totally blanked on it. Oh, the memberships. That's what I was going for, yeah. So, yeah, the memberships tab for part of the community is the one. Because I kind of did that a little on Patreon, but Patreon's a different site off of that, so I might be interested in doing a membership tab. I got some stuff here in the off-season I really want to do when I have a chance to, one of them is trying to see if I can, like, download Streamlabs and do that as well. I feel like that might work better, because I know on Streamlabs you're able to post like links and stuff on the side of the chat, and like that, which would help out a ton. So say if I want to like kind of like market my merchandise and have it like roll on the chat like once every 10-15 minutes or so, I can do that. So I'm thinking about upgrading into the Streamlabs as well this off season. Thanks so much, Sir Smooth, my man. Really appreciate it, brother. Kid with hats. Thanks so much, man, for dropping on by here as well. Each and every one of you been awesome here. Yeah, really thinking about doing a membership. I'd have to take a look and see if there's like any like set amount to that, or if the perks are like if you can set the amount to the perks yourself, because that's the thing. Because I don't know if it's like a set amount or if I'm able to choose the amount for the perks. That would be like incredibly helpful if I'm able to choose the amount or so. Because I don't like to put prices high, because people are going to be paying for like a membership that's like $25 or like $50 or so. Always remember, if you want to like gain viewers and have them just keep on like coming back and stuff, you gotta put out the stuff like really low for the people. More people will be interested. Yeah, Bradley doesn't even remember his first stream. I think I remember Bradley on my channel. I have a good memory for some reason with like kind of like with like a calendar type of memory that I have like really good for some reason. And I feel like I remember Bradley's first game. I think it was around December last year. So I think you've been on the channel for like over 10 months. I think it was Michigan against Louisville. Because I remember that game. And that was the game that Michigan had beat Gonzaga. And then Michigan was the number one team. And then Louisville had beat Michigan. Louisville was the number one team after that. And then Louisville had lost someplace around there, which they got knocked off. Kansas got the number one. And then I remember calling Kansas against Villanova. That was a crazy game. Late December. Villanova knocked off Kansas. And then there was a new number one. I think that was Baylor. That was the new, or Gonzaga was the new number one to start off the year, I think. And then Baylor played against Kansas. Baylor beat Kansas by double digits like the first weekend of January, and then Baylor jumped up to number one. That was a crazy start to the season. All the like the upsets and things like that. That was insane. Yeah, I don't know anymore. Puts out if Kentucky beats Florida twice this year, he'll be a Kentucky bandwagon for the tournament. This is a huge year for Florida, for head coach Mike White, because once again, they get so much potential in the team, and they should be an NCAA tournament team. They should be a top 30 team this season. That's what they should be on paper, but can they put it together? That's the question. They have a sophomore in the team, Scotty Lewis. He was a top 10 recruit, but he didn't really do much last year. He came back this year to improve, and he's got a really good chance to shine here. Have great potential for Florida, but the thing is, can he just put it all together? That's going to be the big thing. Yeah, I think it was the Louisville stream, Bradley. Let's see. Ethan asking me, yes, so I currently use OBS. So yeah, it's OBS Studio. It's like, I think the more updated one is Streamlabs OBS. So I'm gonna check that up, and when I have a chance here in the off season, see if I want to upgrade into that. Yeah, Ethan puts out, he thinks Illinois is going to make it to the national championship if everybody stays healthy for this season. Illinois, huge jump in the rankings because Ayu Dosunmu came back, and then Kofi Coburn came back as well. Both players withdrew from the NBA draft, and that's why Illinois is like a top 10 team in my opinion now. Hey, what's good, SB? Welcome in here. Thanks so much, man. Really appreciate it. Ayub, welcome on board. Throwback to Ayub. I remember Ayub all the way from the Louisville streams that I did last year for college basketball. Glad to have you on the channel once again. Dude, Chelsea gets Manchester United on Saturday. I'm probably going to be out most likely this weekend with my girlfriend on Saturday. Most likely Vaughn. Yeah, Bradley, it seems like he's been here for decades. Dude, the time just, like, flies by. Like for you guys in the channel, and man, it just flies by. I can't believe we're almost through 2020. It's incredible. Thanks so much, Ayub. Really appreciate it, brother, for being a part here. Yes, Sir Smooth wasn't a big fan of that Texas Tech game. That was the one. Yep, it was Texas. Yeah, so it was Louisville who beat Michigan. I was trying to figure out who the team was that knocked off Louisville. It was Texas Tech. So yeah, it was Texas Tech. I think that was the following week they knocked off Louisville, and then that's where Kansas got number one, and then Villanova knocked off Kansas. That was crazy for this season. Just all the upsets. Duke lost to Stephen F. Austin. Kentucky somehow lost to Evansville, which went winless in their conference, and just a bunch of upsets all over the board. What are my thoughts about Louisville this season? They lost a lot this past season, in the off season, but I think they're gonna have a couple players that's gonna break out this year, and I think they're gonna be a top 30 team if I had to predict this year for Louisville. So I don't think they're going to be as strong as this year, but I still think they're going to make the tournament. David Johnson, Samuel Williamson, those are the two players to keep an eye on this year for Louisville. Of course, they lost Jordan Wara and Dwayne Sutton, a couple other, Ryan McMahon as well. they lost in the offseason. So they had a lot of like key players that they lost. But I think to break out this year, David Johnson, he had that massive first half against Duke. I think he's going to have a great season for Louisville. And I think they're going to be more of a team that like improves throughout the course of the year for Louisville. But I think they're going to be like around top 30, top 35 team that makes the tournament. Probably going to be like a 9 or an 8 seed if I had to project their seeding. Yeah, Joey puts out craziest play of the bubble, Luka's game winner or Bam's block. I would go with Luka's game winner. That was out of all the games that I ever like announced in the bubble, that was like a swing of emotions. That type of game there. Oh, there were so many games swing of emotions. OG's 3-point shot for the win for the Raptors after Kemba Walker had to assist to Tice and he had to slam dunk. That was just an insane Celtics-Raptors series. But as far as a swing of a momentum of a game, the Dallas Mavericks were trailing by 21 points. They were down. They showed no signs of life in the first half, and then they came back in the second half, and Luka hit the game winner. And that play, that will change history. That call on the channel here, that was incredible. That will definitely change history. It's a history-changing call on the channel. Nice buzzer beater to the resume. Hey, Gilb Talk, welcome in here for stopping them by. Thanks so much for hitting the thumbs up, man. We're just, right now, different type of stream here. Just celebrating my birthday, I guess, today. Doing a Hangout stream for you guys. Glad to have you on board, man. Yeah, Ayub remembered subbing at 20 subs, man. Glad that you've been here on the channel. Real OG out on the channel here since 20 subs. It's awesome to have you guys on board. John Punto, welcome in here. Justin, thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Tomorrow, Atletico and Bayern playing in the Champions League, it looks like. Ooh, Among Us. I've never played that either, Ethan. So, I'm not sure myself, but that's pretty cool if it looks super fun. Willie, thanks so much, brother, for stopping by. Indeed, same to you guys as well. Make sure to stay safe, guys. Also, I know things are kind of getting like a little bit rough over here in my area lately. Things aren't looking so well as far as the rise that we are seeing in the spike. But stay safe, everybody, and of course, just make sure to follow all the precautions there. That'll help you to stay safe. Hey, my man Jason, welcome back, brother, as he is back, baby, right now. Glad to have you on board, my man. Thoughts about Dolphins thinking about starting Tua? I think it's a good decision, man. I think seeing what their future is for Miami, and I feel like they got nothing to lose right now. 3-3, they already got 3 wins to their resume. Second in the AFC East over the Patriots, and it's incredible to see what Tua has been able to do on his comeback here. So I'm really wishing the best of luck for Tua. I think it's a great choice though, because he's the future. He's the future of Miami now, replacing Fitzpatrick. So let's see. I'm interested to know what the defenses are coming up. Let's see. Dolphins, Miami here. Oh, they got that comes out perfect timing actually, in my opinion. So yeah, they got the bye week. So Tua's got the whole system here. He's got the bye week to learn and gives him an extra week of prep. They got the Rams coming up. That's a tough schedule though. So really tough schedule coming up. Rams, Cardinals, Chargers, and Broncos. Those are 2 more of the manageable games. Chargers, Broncos, but that's a really tough game against the Rams. But Dolphins been a sleeper right now. Just a complete turnaround. What was going on the early part of the season to now really turned it around. They have a chance. Possibly make some noise. I don't know if they can be a playoff team, but by how they're looking right now, they could very well go 500 even with that type of schedule. Yeah, Bradley puts out, can't believe he couldn't remember his first stream. His memory's so whack. Still remember the seats when him and his dad went to all 3 of the Cardinals games for the NIT. David Paget as the coach there. Wow, he remembers the seat numbers. That's cool, dude. For like all the sporting events I've ever attended, I actually save like all the ticket stubs to the sporting events that I attended. So I have like I have football games at the old Foxborough Stadium going all the way back to like 2000 that I attended. So it's like all these old ticket stubs are like historic now. I saved like a ton of ticket stubs when I went to McCoy Stadium, which is, if you didn't know, the home of the Paw Sox, AAA affiliate of the Red Sox, which is no longer. So I feel like that's gonna be probably like worth quite a bit someday, because they're not playing at McCoy anymore. This was supposed to be the last year, but they're moving to Worcester now for the AAA team for the Red Sox, and they're not playing in Pawtucket. Hey, what's good, Timo? Glad to have you in the channel, man. Thanks so much, brother. Yeah, Joey puts out, thinks the best series of the bubble, Jazz versus Nuggets. Yes, I agree with that, man. As far as, yeah, the closeness of the games and how Denver is able to battle back and win the series, and that game 7, I remember we covered that game 7, and that was just, man, that was just defensive slugfest all over the place in that type of game there. Hey, what's good, Adam? Welcome in, man, for stopping by. Thanks so much, brother. Really appreciate it for being a part here once again. Jose, welcome in. You can't hear me, so I'm sorry that you can't hear me. His boss has loud music on in the car. Sorry to hear that, man. Hopefully he can hear me soon, but hope all is going well for Jose. Thanks so much, Dakota. Welcome in, man. Yeah, everything's going pretty well as far as things that's been going down here. I can't believe it's been I turned 25 today. 25 years is crazy. Time just flies by like that fast. Like, if you're younger here, like you'll get a hold of it probably later in your life. You'll realize just time just flies by every single year. Yep, the Poland Spring brothers here, me and Adam, as I've got my nice Poland Spring over here, repping the good northeast state of Maine with a Poland Spring. So we get local shipments to our grocery supplier or so, which is actually based out of the state of Maine, but I'm from Massachusetts myself. Oh, sorry to hear that, Sir Smooth. He's disappointed in his football team this year. Can't get all 3 phases to play a good game. So sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, my state, they aren't even doing high school football in my state for a lot of teams. Like my town that I grew up in, went to high school with, they're not playing high school football, and the town that I live in has a population of 10,000 in Massachusetts. Some of the teams that we play against, though, for high school football, they're like smaller schools in big cities. Like, one of them is in the red zone, which is the worst zone to be for positive cases. And one of those cities has a population of 90,000, and we play against them since they've got multiple high schools in the city. So yeah, they never did high school football this year. It's just so sad that the students aren't able to have like any sort of normalcy where I am. It's just really, really, really sad. I think they only got like a couple of sports, like the non-contact stuff, like cross country, tennis. But yeah, no football. I don't think there's gonna be basketball. They just aren't really doing that much over here. It's unfortunate for the students too that play football. It kills me to hear about the seniors that practice like and they were preparing for their senior year of football, and they just have it canceled just like that before the start of the school year. It's so sad. Yep, Hayu putting out, repping the good water out in the northeast here. Yeah, Ethan puts out opinion here on new Pacers head coach. Same with me, man. I think it's gonna be a good move. So they get the Raptors assistant coach now as the Pacers new head coach. And the Raptors, one of the things that they've done so well past couple years is build up players in their program, and they've had just terrific coaching down the line there with building up players from from Anunoby throughout the past couple seasons. What they did with Terrence Davis this year, undrafted rookie from Ole Miss. And I do like this decision for the Pacers. So he's able to be a part right behind Nick Nurse, and they've got a really good system as far as coaching, because that was a team for the Raptors this year that's losing Kawhi. On paper, I felt like they probably should have been like mid to back half of the Eastern Conference playoffs, but they got all the way up to a 2 seed. I think that was just really, really good for Indiana. I like that choice. Yeah, Vaughn puts out doesn't want to go back to school until there's a vaccine, because he doesn't want to wear a mask because he heard that a mask could be bad. For some people, it's not as hard as once you get used to it. I guess you start to get used to it, and it kind of becomes second nature or so. Because everybody where I go to school, you have to have like a mask on. They have like mask breaks too, so that's the thing. Where I am in the state of Mass, they have mask breaks. I think they have like 4 mask breaks throughout the entire school session. So I would imagine that's probably what they'd have to do for you, so you're not wearing your mask for the whole time. Hey, thanks so much, Dakota, for stopping on by, man. Really appreciate it, brother, for being a part here. And you guys are awesome for being a part. Jose puts out doesn't have a lot of battery on his phone, so he was listening to music, looks like, all day. Hopefully some good jams in your tunes, man, for listening to those music stuff going out. Yeah, I used to play throwback video games. I have a PlayStation 2 at IU, so I had, it was, yeah, NCAA 2008 I had with Tim Tebow on it. I also had NCAA 2011 as well. I have for college football. Those 2 games. I have March Madness 2006. I got March Madness 2001 for the PlayStation 1. That's a throwback. And I also got a couple NBA games. I think I got NBA 2004 and then NBA Live 2008. So I got quite a bit of video games, but all the throwbacks I have for PS1, PS2. Hey, what's good, Ian? Welcome in, man, for stopping on board. Thanks so much, Ian. Appreciate it, brother. Vegas puts out the school is going to make the hybrid go back the following Monday. It looks like there. Oof. So I think that means more remote now. Yeah, for where I am in Mass, if we ever get into the red zone, I think it goes gray. For the state of Mass, they label each town gray, green, yellow, and red. And if you get into the red zone, like I think there's like 60 out of the 353 cities and towns in the state are in the red, then it's strongly advised that you have to go to full remote until you get out of the red. Joey put out, I watched the security guard in the grocery store tackle somebody trying to walk into the store without a mask on. Yeah, I've seen that crazy world we've got out here. What's my favorite music? I used to be big into EDM music. I like the stuff from the past decade or so. Avicii, Zed. There was just some really good artists that I like. Calvin Harris is another one. For throwback rap music, I like the stuff back to like the 2000s with like Eminem. Some nice throwback rap music there. Do I think Falcons should keep Raheem Morris? As far as the first game, I would go yes after the first game. We'll see how it all like plays out throughout the course of this year, though. I'd have to see more games though with Raheem Morris over time, but that's a good start if he keeps it up. It's so tough to bounce back from that, but anything's possible here. And actually, wow, thinking about it, Falcons actually got the schedule coming up to do some damage here. I'm taking a look at their schedule. They get the Lions coming up. That one could, it's at home too. That should be able to go into the Falcons' favor. They get Detroit, and then they get the Panthers. That can go either way. Carolina's actually been a surprise this year. They're not as bad as I thought So they had so much turnover in the offseason. No Christian McCaffrey for the past couple of weeks due to injury. I also had him have him on my fantasy team, and he's right now on injured reserve until I can pull him off. Luckily, I was able to scoop up Mike Davis, and he's been producing, which has been huge. Then they get the Broncos for the Falcons. And then they got the Saints right after that. They actually got 2 games against the Saints in a 3-week span. It gets tougher, it looks like, down the later stages of the season. But yeah, it's gonna be more telling next 2 weeks, or yeah, next 3 weeks. They have the chance here for the Falcons now. They won their first game. Yeah, they get a chance to possibly be 4-5 if they win the next 3 games. Hey, thanks so much, Cordelia. I really appreciate it for stopping them by. Thank you so much. Hina, welcome on board here. Welcome in. I'm only going to go on for like a couple more minutes here. I've been streaming for over an hour, but yeah, it's been awesome here for each and every one of you to build up this community. It's been great. I have a lot of good stuff planned for the off season. A lot of the content, it's going to be spaced out when in days and stuff. It's going to be more like uploaded video content or so until college basketball begins in late November. But what I plan on doing for video content within the next few days into the next upcoming weeks before college basketball starts off is top 25 predictions for college basketball. That one, I want to release that video because what I have to do, I have to type up everything up on so I have to type up like all the info of the teams when I do conference predictions, which takes like quite a bit of research for some of the teams to do. For like the teams that I'm not really like sure about, that haven't watched that much film about. But I finished my research in the top 25 that I have. So I'm probably gonna release that within like the course of the later this week, most likely. Just have to record a video. I typed up everything, and then after that, I'm gonna do conference predictions, as well as what else I did is I started a job writing for a college basketball publication online. So I've been doing that as well. I signed all like I started late. I was hired a couple weeks ago, so it's by like first come first serve the conferences and things like that. So like the higher up conferences, since I came in later into the company or so, since I'm doing it like off of my free time writing. Since I came in later, like a lot of the major conferences were picked up, like the Big East, Big 10, Big 12, ACC. So all those conferences, they already had like conference previews for in the progress to write them. So I picked up the America East, so I'm doing that right now. I'm writing a prediction for the America East, which I got Vermont by a long shot winning for this year. But what you do for that article, whatever, just conferences are just left blank there. You're able to write about and stuff like that, which helps me out because I want to do conference predictions over here with as like many conferences as possible before I start the season off. Thanks so much, Ayu, for stopping on by, man, and glad to have you on the channel here, brother, once again. He's going to finish some work, and thanks so much, brother, for being a part here, and I'll catch you another time. Ooh, underrated college basketball team this season, in my opinion. I'm probably going to go with one of those teams from the Missouri Valley. Whoever comes out of that, there's 3 good teams there. Missouri Valley is going to be competitive. I think Northern Iowa is going to take the conference, though. A.J. Green, he was the leading scorer for the Missouri Valley last year, but he is back for Northern Iowa. But it's either between Northern Iowa, Loyola Chicago, or Drake in that conference. I think, actually, yeah, it's Bradley was the third one. Drake was the one last year that played the upset, but it's Northern Iowa, Loyola Chicago, and Bradley. Those 3 teams are going to be right there, top of the Missouri Valley. But I like Northern Iowa to come out of that division, be a part of the tournament. And then also another low-key team this year. I don't think they can make the tournament, but I think they're going to be a top 80-75 team. That would be UMass. They got a really good player with Trey Mitchell coming back, who averaged like almost 20 points per game last year. Like, if he can keep it up for Trey Mitchell and lead UMass, they had like quite a bit of turnover in the offseason. They had a transfer though come in from Wichita State for UMass, but if he can lead that team, I don't think they can be a tournament team, but I think they're gonna be top of the conference there. I think they're gonna probably finish like 4th in the conference if I had to predict for UMass for this year. They got a pretty good conference for the A10, and St. Louis is the one that's my tournament sleeper. They're like a deep threat bracket buster there for St. Louis. They return their entire starting 5. And I get to watch them play last year against Rhode Island. At URI, they crushed them. They controlled the entire game. They got some really talented teams here for this season. So I think A10, like, low-key, they don't get, like, much opportunities, though. That's the thing, because in a pandemic year in 2020, like, Rhode Island struggling, trying to get, like, non-conference games in there. That's the thing. So that's the only thing that's not benefiting the A10. They're probably going to only get like 2 seeds into the tournament because the strength of schedule is going to be just not as good as what they have, because the teams that they had planned on a non-conference court, some of them got taken away due to like travel and things like that. So Rhode Island's got like a lot of games that they got to fill, but for the Atlantic 10, I think there's a lot of sleeper teams out there this year. I got St. Louis first, Richmond second, Dayton I got 3rd this year. They still bring back a couple of key players from last year, even though they lose Obi Toppin and a few other players from last year. I think Mike Sell and Trey Landers they lost to. And then UMass I got 4th in that conference. And then there's like a whole scamper of teams there in the pack as well that I think is going to get like, I don't know how many games they get to play this year. I think it's around like 26, 27. But these teams, all the way first 6, 7 teams in the conference, I think they're going to all win like more than like 18 games for this year for the A10. Because after that, after UMass, I'm looking at like these trio of teams, Rhode Island, Duquesne, and St. Bonaventure. Like those are like going to be 3 teams as well that's going to be good. So I think those are like all the ones that's going to be like top half of the conference going to be stacked, I feel like, for that one. Do I think T-Jot's going to make it to the G League or NBA here? I think probably G League, if I had to predict there, that he would have the chance or so to be a part of Hey, I was with a joke there, my man, but he's got his birthday coming up. Wishing you the best of luck, my man. A-Hours with his birthday coming up. Yeah, Bradley's gonna win the Missouri Valley right there with the Bradley Braves team. Yeah, there's a lot of good teams out there this year. Trying to think about other conferences, what they got. I think BYU. I think they're still going to be good this year, even though they lost a couple of key players from last year, especially Yoli Childs. But I think Matt Harm's going to have a big year for BYU coming in. Hey, Stocks Currency, welcome on board, man, for stopping on by. Yeah, I went from like 1K, 2K watching, only 25 here because it's not like an actual like live stream of a game here, but no problem. I'm actually shocked that we got 25 people viewing on this type of stream tonight, but really appreciate it, man, for stopping on by. Hey, Ralph Davis, welcome on board here, man. And we got Chicago Bulls 123 and JG, welcome on here as well. Thanks so much, guys, for being a part. Thanks so much, Jason, for stopping on by, brother, like always. And I'm interested to see here because Jason's a Kentucky fan. If I'm able to scoop up what that non-conference schedule is, if they have it posted yet, for Kentucky. Let's see, if they have anything posted here, I'll update you guys. So nothing just yet. I have like no clue about the college basketball schedule for this year because they haven't put anything into the networks or anything. They've announced some of the games though. Some of them are good ones. Gonzaga taking on Baylor. Should be 2 top 5 teams taking on each other. I think it's on December 3rd on a Saturday. Also, I think it's Florida who's supposed to be playing Virginia as well. I'm turning 25. Chicago Bulls 1, 2, 3. So I'm 25. How am I gonna make up for revenue now that the finals are gonna be done? I'm gonna be doing all-season video predictions for college basketball, as well as I plan on releasing a top 25 video really soon. And also, college basketball starts up in just over a month, so I plan on covering like a good amount of those games as well. ACC predictions for this year. Let's see, I'm going to go to win the ACC. I'm going to predict Virginia. That should be a good non-conference game. I think Virginia's taking on Florida sometime in the non-conference slate. So I got Virginia. I had Virginia top 10 team. Duke I had inside the top 10 as well. I think I had them at 10th. Florida State right behind Duke, which I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on Florida State, have them like back half top 25, but they got Florida State, I think like 11th or 12th in my prediction. And then I got North Carolina, 4th in the conference around, I think, 14-15 mark. And then after that, I got Louisville, who's probably going to be around the 30s or so. So that's what I have for those. And I'll go over, once I get those predictions out, I'll go over more into like the roster and things like that. And dig deep down into the roster or so for this season. But those are my top 5 for this year. For ACC, Virginia, Duke, Florida State, North Carolina, Louisville. After that, I think Georgia Tech is going to make it into the tournament. I think Georgia Tech has a great chance. Miami as well. They bring back, I think, a bunch of upperclassmen for Miami, so I think they're going to be mostly improved next year. Have a good shot to make it in. Syracuse and Clemson, I think they're going to be in the bubble for this year. So that's what I have, I think, for the ACC. As far as bottom teams in the ACC, I think Wake Forest, Boston College, those 2 teams are going to be the very bottom of the conference. Hey, what's good, Kevin? Welcome in, man, for stopping on by, brother. Hope all is well. Thanks so much, dude, for being a part here once again. If the Rays win the World Series, I should shave my head. Dakota's putting out here. Well, somebody's getting an extra title. It's either Tampa Bay, which they already won with the Lightning, or it's going to be the Dodgers, which the Lakers already won. So it's kind of quite ironic. The team that won the Stanley Cup trophy going up against the team that won the NBA Finals. Both of their cities are a part here of the World Series. Thoughts about Pitt for this season? I think they're probably going to be more mid-back half or so for the ACC. But I think they're going to be more of an improving team for this season. I think one of their players, I think, is Julian Champagnie. I think he's coming back, and I think he's a good, solid player for Pittsburgh. I think that's going to be a team coming up on the rise. If they keep everybody after this season, I think they have a shot for the tournament next season for Pittsburgh. So I think they're 1 season away from the tournament. And then for Pac-12, Vaughn puts out for the Pac-12 predictions. Let's see what I have for the Pac-12. I think, UCLA and Arizona State. Those are the 2 teams right there that I have top 2 in the Pac-12. I think I had UCLA over Arizona State, because Arizona State lost. Yeah, they lost their true center, who transferred over to Ole Miss. So that's the only thing. They're loaded with guards. Alonzo Verge, Remy Martin could possibly be Player of the Year, and then Josh Christopher coming in. So they got a trio of just guards that's going to light it up this year for Arizona State. UCLA was coming out hot last season, so UCLA, I like to win the conference very close against Arizona State, and then Oregon is going to be right there alongside of them. They had a massive loss losing Peyton Pritchard, but Oregon, I think Oregon's going to be borderline top 30, top 25 this year. All right. Okay, so interesting. Yeah, I was trying to remember the name. So, okay, so it's Justin there, and Julian is his brother. Interesting. Yeah, it's been a while since I like went over like a roster for them. Thanks so much for the update, Kevin. Though. Yeah, Ethan puts out Auburn will not make it in this year. Yeah, I think I have them towards the back of the SEC. They lost 8 seniors last season. That's gonna be so tough to replace, even though they got a pretty good recruiting class coming in. I have them out this season as well. SEC, I had Kentucky and Tennessee at the top, and then there was and then LSU I think third, since they bring back a couple players that withdrew from the NBA draft. Trenton Wofford's really going to be one to watch out this season for LSU, and then Alabama should be good up there as well, along with Florida. Those are Florida, Alabama is going to be 2 teams inside the top 35. I project, and then Arkansas as well. Arkansas would have been top 25 if Isaiah Joe had came back. I think they're going to be more top 35. And also thinking about the Pac-12 once again, Stanford, I feel like it's going to be top 40. So Stanford's another one that I think is going to have tournament potential. Yes, I actually heard about that, Bradley. Puts out about Louisville hosting a college basketball bubble starting on the day of college for November 25th. Chris Max confirmed that. Hasn't revealed the teams to the public. Said 8 teams. That, indeed, man, that's so cool. Thinking about it here, I just brought up the Maui Invitational bracket. And Providence is in it for this season. This is quite the bracket they got. So this is a good game. Providence against Indiana they have. In Indiana's, I think Indiana's another one of those teams that's going to be like top 35 this season with a just massive Big Ten. Big Ten by far is going to be the best conference for this season. So if I had to go over Big Ten teams here, I'm going to see if I can remember them all off the top of my head. So Iowa, I think Iowa has Final Four potential. Illinois right behind Iowa. Wisconsin as well, which retains their entire starting lineup. Those 3 teams right there that I just said, Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, they're going to all be top 10 teams. Yeah, they have so many good teams. And then Michigan State, who's going to be, which I predict 4th in the conference, which also has top 10 potential for Michigan State. So that's like 4 teams out of the top 10. And there's going to be 2 teams I predict in the top 10 as well with from the Big 12 with Baylor and Kansas. Yeah, that game's huge. Providence against Indiana. And I think the winner of that one takes on Texas versus Davidson, which Davidson had a down year last season, but I think Davidson's probably going to be mid-pack A10 this year. Thanks so much, Alex the Great, for stopping on by, man. Really appreciate it. And A-House here's got school tomorrow. Wishing you the best of luck in school. So sorry, man, that you're in the ER, brother. Sending my thoughts out to you. Prayers that you'll have a fast and speedy recovery. Yep, it's 9:30 over here as well, but really glad to have you on board, man. Let's send some prayer emojis out to my man A-House out here as well. So sorry to hear that, man. And then else for the Big Ten, teams in the top 25 that they still got after those group of teams there. So I had Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan State, the top 4. And then after that, I had, I think it was Ohio State. I think Ohio State, Rutgers, Michigan, Indiana. So many good teams. Minnesota shouldn't even be that bad this year. Minnesota got a couple key transfers in as well. They're just in a stacked conference. Yeah, Big East predictions for this season. Indeed, for some always great games for the Big East. So Villanova, I think Villanova is going to be a top 5 team. Basically return everyone besides Sadiq Bey. And then after Villanova, I get Creighton, which I predict to be a top 25 team. They bring back Marcus Zagorowski, who could be a potential National Player of the Year nominee. And then after Creighton, third in the conference, I got UConn right now. I got UConn jumping Providence because UConn having some big transfers this offseason. But UConn Providence, that's going to be close between the 3 and the 4 spot. Both teams should be top 30. Providence is in there as well, behind UConn at 4th in the conference. And then 5th, they got Seton Hall. Seton Hall is going to be borderline tournament team, I feel like, for this season. Should get in, though. They had a great pickup. It was Bryce Aiken, point guard coming in from Harvard, taking over. So that's a huge pickup there for the Pirates. And then after that, I got quite a bit of teams trying to fight for a bubble. Marquette, I think, yeah, Marquette's part of that. Butler. Trying to see who the bottom would be in the Big East. Bottom would be Georgetown for this year, because they lost so many players to transfer in the offseason. So I would predict last would be Georgetown, and then probably second to last would be DePaul in the conference. I feel like I might have been missing like a team from the Big East or so when I covered it. Just gonna see if I hit on like everything. There's so many good teams out in that conference. Let's see. I think everything basically hit as far as Big East there. Any thought about Purdue's potential for this season? I think it's gonna be a tough season for Purdue. Their bench is really thin because they lost Nojel Eastern and Matt Harms from their team. So basically they got like a starting lineup there, but they have like barely any bench. So I think they're gonna struggle this season. Gonna be back half if I had to predict in the conference. They have a stacked conference. Penn State, I predict to take a step down. Last year would have been their year for the tournament to make it, which Penn State doesn't make it in that often, and they're not really known as a basketball school. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna have much luck making the tournament for this year. And I think if there's teams to count out for the tournament this year, I would count out Northwestern Nebraska for this year right off the bat. Those two teams will go basically, both bottom 2 in the conference. Yep, so I cover March Madness on this channel as well, Ethan. When do I think Pittsburgh Steelers will lose their first game here? Steven puts out. Well, they play Tennessee on Sunday. I'm gonna say, they're bound to lose their first game, winning the next 2 games here. So I will go. I'm gonna predict here for Pittsburgh's on the road. I'm gonna predict Pittsburgh over Tennessee this week. So I'm gonna take a bold prediction here. Say Pittsburgh over Tennessee this week, and then I think the following week is gonna be the one against Pittsburgh. Or Pittsburgh against Baltimore. They take on the Ravens week 8. I think the Ravens gonna able to get the W there. It's at Baltimore, so I like the Ravens in that game. And then Steelers taking on the Cowboys November 8th. Oh, man. Sure Stephen A. is going to have something to say about that one. Wow. So of course, Stephen A. always has something to say about them Cowboys there. And he's a fan of the Steelers himself, and he's going to be laughing off that one when Andy Dalton takes on Pittsburgh. I remember the last time that Steelers and Cowboys met up. That was an incredible game that they had. Yep, my man Vegas, hopefully Friartown able to do it this year. Get into the tournament. Hopefully they'll be back in there. Got a good promising roster to do so. Looking forward to the 2 transfers. Noah Horchler, Jared Bynum. Really looking forward to see what they have to offer. David Duke, hopefully he's going to have a breakout season this year. Thanks so much, Ethan, for stopping on by, man. I really appreciate it. I'm going to finish off the stream, by the way, a couple minutes from now. Bradley puts in here, so actually some of the teams confirmed. Louisville Bubble, Arkansas Little Rock, Duquesne, UNC Greensboro, Winthrop, Prairie View A&M, and Southern Illinois. Looks like they got a couple of teams there. UNC Greensboro, I think they're going to be top 2 in the Southern. Southern's going to come down to either Furman or UNC Greensboro this year. East Tennessee State, they were dominating last year in the conference, but they lost their head coach. He went over to Wake Forest, and I think Wake Forest will be a tournament team. Not this year, probably not the next year, but it'll be coming soon. 2023, 2024. I think once they start bringing in the recruits, I think Steve Forbes at Wake Forest is going to turn around the program, and they'll be back to the old Wake Forest of the 2000s. There that I remember when I was younger. But yeah, Arkansas Little Rock made it to the tournament. I think it was around 5 years ago they pulled off an upset in the tournament, and then Duquesne had a great start to this past season. I think most of their players are coming back for Duquesne. I think they're gonna make some noise in the A10, but that's a really crowded A10 there. Duquesne, St. Bonaventure. Those are two teams that are gonna be at the top tier of their conference that were pretty good last year, and then there's gonna be teams that I feel like that got some big time transfers in. That's gonna be good. That will creep up in the conference. URI is one of them. I have no clue like what to expect this year. Out of all the question marks, out of like any team in college basketball with so many question marks, it's my home state of Massachusetts and the neighboring state with URI, one of my favorite teams. It's interesting. UMass has they lost a couple of players, got a couple key players in from transfer, and then URI just had a ton of players leaving the offseason, and then they got a bunch of players who got waivers via transfer. So that's so helpful. They got like a couple of top 100 recruits coming into URI, but didn't really prove themselves to their last school. But they moved down to like a lower level or so. Jalen Carey played at Syracuse, and then the Mitchell twins played at Maryland's, and all three of those all three of those players were top 100 recruits. Do I see fans in the stands anytime for basketball? I think it's gonna come down to probably like the arena venue or so for fans in the stands. I think it's all gonna be decided on the arena venue, what state you're in, the state's guidelines. So I do think that we'll see socially distanced fans at some of the games this season, but probably not in my home state though. I don't see it in any of the arenas out in Massachusetts. Not like the arena's packed anyway for a Boston College game anyway. But where they struggle to generate fans, like New Hampshire. New Hampshire only averages around I think 500 fans or so per game. Because I was looking at the daily attendance for the America East, and New Hampshire's last in game attendance in their conference. They only get 500 games they average per game. And I feel like you can easily socially distance fans. If you got an arena that big only to fit in 500 fans, that should be easy. So it all depends on I guess the state's guidelines more so, which I'm from Massachusetts, but we've been slower to the reopening process, where New Hampshire's basically opened up everything way earlier than even before we get to the reopening process. So yeah, I've taken a look at the gym that UNH plays in. They get a capacity of 3,000, and they only had an average attendance of 500 last year. So yeah, you can easily socially distance fans in an arena like that. Hey, what's good, my man Alex here from the DMV Sportsnet. Glad to have you dropping on by here. Thanks so much, man, for being a part of the birthday stream. I'm going to sign off in just a minute, guys, but thanks so much, everybody, for being a part here on the channel. Really appreciate it for my 25th birthday. You guys were awesome. Carol Capilot, just stopping by here. Thanks so much, Carol Capilot. Yeah, it was a good one today. Really good birthday or so. Turned 25, and everything's been going well, which has been great here in the off season right now. So big things looking forward to in this off season before college basketball starts up in just over a month. I plan on releasing my final prediction for the preseason top 25 for college basketball. It's going to be out most likely within like this week, or most likely next week by the latest. I plan on having that out. So got some good content on board over there. And also I plan on doing conference prediction videos as well for as many college basketball conferences as possible when I have the chance as well. So make sure to have that notification bell rung so you'll get notified when that happens here or so. So I'll probably have the video spaced out because it takes like a while to type up like all the info, like get the info on every single team. I have to research the team's players for some of the teams, and then come up with the info and just bring it all together through a video by plugging in like the stuff like I do for the slideshow and things like that. So that's a wrap here, everybody. Gonna sign off right now, but yeah, from the NBA Finals, Alex puts out, realized that my video last week over 1,000 views. That was crazy. Like, we had a couple big over 100,000 view streams. It was insane. I can't believe like how much we have grown here from a year ago. We only had like over not even 400 subs to now over 9,000. It is crazy how much we have just blown up here. Appreciate it, Kevin and my man Bradley, for stopping on by here. And indeed, make sure guys to stay healthy and stay safe as well, everybody, through these tough times here. And man, 2020 already, we are almost all the way through October. It's crazy just like that. It's going to be November soon, and it's going to be Thanksgiving and Christmas, and now we'll be into 2021, everyone. But going to sign off right now. Big thank you all for being a part of the channel, being back here for my birthday stream on the 25th birthday of me, everybody. Really appreciate it. Signing off, of course, stay healthy, stay safe, stay happy, everybody. This is Behind the Arc Basketball, and enjoy the rest of your night, everybody, in this October 20th. As that is a wrap here. I turned 25. Happy birthday to me. Glad to have you guys on board. Really appreciate you guys are the real MVPs. Signing off here, folks.